Yes, sir, Mr. Young Work. I wonder what's wrong with this. We're a little early here, but we will. Still got a few minutes left before we start it up. We'll make sure we pick up a good defense to go against. I'm not going to use two controllers. It'll be just too much, but. Ready for some Outlast, baby. Everything good on the sound check, guys? I can hear it on my end, but I want to make sure you guys are good to hear it. Facts, yeah, same here. Sounds good, sounds good. See hearts flying in the chat. All right, we'll give it 2 more minutes, see if anybody else rolls in. We'll get this SMU Playbook rocking here. Make sure I put my notes up in front of this screen here so I got it. Alright, we'll start loading in here. Again, SMU Playbook on the screen. You guys are going to see skill level Heisman, so we're not going against freshmen or varsity to make it look good here. Heisman, we're going against 94 rated defense, so All right, so what I'm going to be doing the whole time here is I'm going to go in against random defense. Um, I'm not trying to go get a singular look. That is exactly how you're going to find out how formations, plays, work, your route concepts, things of that nature. So also when I am going through any of these playbooks here, the main thing I do is I usually just kind of skim through formations, see what is good, what I can use, what I think gives me a variety, what I can run and pass out of. So, you know, I look at I form tight. It's the only I form formation in this playbook. I look to see what plays there are. Not a lot of people are passing out of I form. But, you know, you see the halfback lead, you see the counter, fullback fake, halfback toss used to be one of the better run plays on the goal line, short yard situation, fullback dive. I think it's very predictable, though, when people come in these. PA Power O, again, a lot of the pass plays are going to be like PA plays. So I'm not going to be going into the I form tight. Pistol, they only got 2 formations in here. What I do like to do is when I'm going through these, I like looking for plays that look unique that you don't see in a lot of playbooks and things of that nature. So pistol strong slot open. One of the things I like about number 1, again, pistol is one of the better running type of formations because you're able to flip majority of the plays by using your right thumbstick to the left if you want it to go left, right if you want it to go right. But you're going to see where you have an inside zone split, a halfback zone, and then a draw. But you have this triple option, you have an alert bubble, read option, and an F lead read option. So kind of a bunch of different things, and the triple option, sorry. But then the passing stuff, right? You have your PA stuff, but you have a play like under, which is very easy to run a nice little scheme out of. But this is the play that actually made me want to talk about this formation, is this double screen. So mind you, I've not been in here playing around with these playbooks. I'm literally going through this live. We're going to go through reps. Some are going to be good, some are going to be bad, but this is how you see the consistency of plays. So right now here it looks like they're doing possibly a man. So the screen may get blown up here. But you see there's this nice little side screen to the running back. But then you also have this screen to the right. And I think this is super unique because you don't see this a lot in a lot of playbooks. So once you've been mixing in the run, things of that nature, the read option, maybe our little pass plays that we can go over, you can add stuff in here like this double screen here. Again, there's wide receiver screen is getting completely clamped. The only thing I don't like about this screen after running it is that you notice he's almost like really slow to get out. So now the cool thing is on some of this is you can actually hot route guys here. So I can hot route the running back. Obviously, I wouldn't do that here because of he's wheeling out to the wrong side. But you can re-swing him. Maybe he gets out there a little bit quicker. And remember, you're not going to hold turbo on any of these plays here, especially behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to accelerate block sheds. Here right now is the situation where you know it's zone. This is where the wide receiver screen has a chance to be in. And again, maybe throw it to him a little bit earlier before he kind of cuts back into the middle of the defense. But I really like this play. It was one of the ones that was unique, stood out. I think that's something you can use here. Obviously the zones, you got PA slide. Let's take a look here. So I'm going to go China wide corner. Again, this is one where I was like, it's very easy to create a concept out of. So I'm a big fan of flood concepts. I think they're some of the best in the game. I think you need to add that in your game if you're not, because it beats majority of defenses. So what we're going to do here is we're going to put B on a streak, and you can re-corner A. Doesn't look like it's going to do anything different here, but you can stem him down. It's going to get him a quicker break to the sideline, so he has a good chance of beating man if you have a good route runner. Also against zones and cover 3, it's going to get into that intermediate area on the sideline here. Now, RB here on the swing route, I'm not a fan of the swing. It just kind of goes out too wide. So I would either reflat him like this, or I would just put him on a basic out route. And the reason why is the out route is not going to get to the sideline right away. So if there's any kind of cloud flat defenders, they're going to fall back with the corner route from A. If they're playing hard flats and they're shading underneath, RB's going to get taken away. A's going to be right there on the sideline. And then one other thing is I'm a big fan of putting comebacks on my solo receivers on the opposite side. They're one of the best routes in the game. If you guys aren't using them, start using them in there. They beat literally everything. But yeah, so we'll take a look here, kind of just read the defense. And you see right here, again, slower guy. It's an out route. It's all about making your offense efficient. Not everything is going to be a home run play. Here, this looks like it's even more of a cover 2. So this could be something here. I'm going to put this flat. And maybe I stem this corner up just one a little bit. And again, we're just going to take a look here. They run this blitz. I have a hot read to the flats here. We're getting 6 or 7 yards, right? So ideally in plays like this, what this is going to do is 6 or 7 yards. Even if it's 2nd and 10 or 1st and 10, now you're making it 2nd and 3 or 3rd and 3, which keeps your entire playbook open. 3rd and 3, you can still run, you can still pass. And if you get to a 4th and short or 4th and 3, it's still very manageable. So keeping your playbook open, having your plays in any particular situation available to you. One other thing for some of the guys that have joined here a little bit later, feel free. Obviously, it's going to be a slight time delay while I'm running these plays here, but I am paying attention to the chat. If you have questions in here, throw them in here, and we will try and answer as we're going. Again, we're going to try and see if we can find a spot for this corner. We talked about comebacks here on the left side. Take a look here, and again, kind of held it too long trying to get the corner out. We actually had the swing route here to Y, wide open. We're just going to run the ball here to get out of this 3 deep look here. So, but yeah, you're going to see this for a couple reps in the thing here. I may hold the ball a little bit too long because I'm trying to show you where some of these other reads get. But moral of the story is don't stare down receivers. If you're staring down your receivers in certain routes, a lot of times it's going to lead to that sacks, hit out of sack, throw out of sack animations, and it's not going to be as good here. So again, I'm going to put this guy in a comeback. We're going to put B, put here, stem down the corner, and we're going to put this flat right out here. So again, we're going to kind of take this look here. Again, take the check down. It's there. Again, this is not going to be super explosive at the moment. They're actually playing a lot of help coverage underneath here on this comeback route. We should be able to get it right here, though. I'm actually going to put Y on an out route as well. And here, and you see is, oh, I'm going to go to replay real quick here. The comeback route's going to be open, even though they ran like a cover 4, kind of a match concept here. And this is why comeback routes are so good. The only thing that really stops it or slows it down is if there is kind of a cover 2 cloud flat, can kind of play between that and the flat defender. Which will kind of make it a tough throw. But you're going to see right here, it looks like it's open. This out route pulls this number 13 defender down. And even though they do double coverage, he hits the comeback at the top. He's going to be wide open here. We just get hit throwing the ball. So that's why you're going to want to add these routes in there. Cover 4 match, it's not going to stop it, even though the double team is there. Cover 3 is not going to beat it or stop it, sorry. And then, again, we're trying to see if we can get one look here at this corner route. The one thing that I don't care for in practice mode that you will see quite a bit is they don't actually play hard flats a lot of time. So some of these throws kind of over the top are not going to be there. And pass leading it out apparently throws it to the middle here. See if we can get another look at that here. This is the fun thing about going through all this stuff is that bunch of times you get clips like this, and again we're getting hit. This is why I picked the 94 defense, so I wanted to show you where it works. Flats have been open literally every play here. I'm just trying not to throw it every time. So again, the other thing too is if you're getting screamed at a lot, you can have this backside drag here. Just kind of show what that looks like. Again, throw it right behind the defender's head. Can be some easy yards here. So, again, we'll just kind of move along here. But pistol, strong slot, I open. Again, the zones, I haven't really gone over the runs. You have a zone alert bubble. I think for the most part, we all know how to run the ball. I will talk about some runs, but this is they said stuff that has unique plays in it, those formations are always worth checking out and plays that you can try to run. So let me see. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's roughly 10 formations. There's a couple more. I'm not going to go over super in depth on each one, but I want to show you why that they are important to run here. So first one up here, 5 wide receivers. Empty sets are some of the hardest things to guard. A lot of people like to run mid blitz, double A gap because it gets pressure. But because you're spread out, is that you really have to get home quick if you're going to stop the stuff. So to me, the best play, we're going to start right away, QB blast. Again, we'll just run this. Mobile quarterback is the best for this, but we're going to run this random defense a couple times. You're just going to watch here. Up the middle, we're not going to hold the sprint. And you see we're getting 4 or 5 yards right off dump. This is great short yardage situation. Great if they're playing dime with 3 down linemen. This is great on the goal line as well. And again, here, not holding turbo. And again, fumble, but we're able to get 10 yards there. And there's just, again, now we see that there's maybe, 6 guys in the box here. This is where we could audible out to a different kind of run here. Terrible run stick there. Again, you're still getting positive yardage, right? And that's why I said you want to use this for short yardage plays. And right here, you can tell how the DBs along the back are kind of all lined up very similar. That means that they're going to be in a cover 0 here. You look, they're all lined up really close to the 20-yard line. So I would then switch to something. I'm just going to pick shock here just for example. But really, I would be looking at Y and X here on this. And again, you got quick route running guys. You're able to get a quick 5-yard pass. He breaks the tackle. It's going to be a, basically a free shot at the end zone for a touchdown. Nah, it's honestly said some of the best runs is going to be halfback duo. Direct snap is still really good. QB blast is really good. And there's QB trap. QB trap's not in a lot of playbooks. But again, just kind of showing back over here. And you see here, again, we're able to get 6-7 yards before we're actually getting hit. So it's going to make QB blast so tough. But again, 5 wide sets are just extremely tough in general to play against. Next thing we're going to go into stick. Stick, again, is a great situational play. Again, it's an easy, efficient play to build your offense around. Sticks in multiple formations. And one of the things I like about it, especially in this 5 wide, right, is usually the defense is going to be spread out wide. You're going to be able to identify where the weaknesses are. So the main thing is the streak route is never really going to be an option unless someone presses and they're playing cover 0. RB is going to be on this out route. You see if they're playing like drop back zones. But the A route is on this option route or this choice route. And you see is he can run an out route or he can run a hitch. That's going to be based off man or zone. So right away, he will 95% of the time make the right choice. If it's zone, he'll sit. If it's man, he'll run the out. And then you're going to have your backside slants here. So the middle of the field, it should be open here. I'm going to watch how they read. Good. Y is there. Very simple. There's no middle linebackers in the middle of the field. Typically, that's where users like to line up. So right here, right, double mug. And again, we talked about this in previous videos. The thing with double mug, what you have to remember is there's no cover 4 in there. It's either man, cover 2, or cover 3. So immediately I see a 1 high look. It looks right away like cover 1 based on the way they're lined, but it could be cover 3 as well. So this is what I like, is that A is going to be my hot read almost immediately because he's going to have no defender lined up right over him. So we're going to take a look. Boom. He sits right in the pocket for the zone. Again, nice little 3-yard pop. Super simple. Now I would look here to the right side. If you notice, there's only 3 DBs. There's 3 receivers. But the third DB is a safety over the top. So I'm going to make my read between A and RB here. I'm going to assume that this Mike linebacker in the middle is going to drop back into coverage. So I'm going to take a look here. And you see RB was open as well. But A was open because he was in man coverage. So that's why he was able to take off and run here. As you're going to watch, the middle linebacker is going to evade the pressure look and run over there. And he just sprints out. So that's why he's able to do that. It may have been even a match concept. It looked like the slot corner kind of was playing like a backed off zone. But again, that's stick just makes it so easy to read the field, especially out of 5 wide. Now here again, it looks like 4 DBs on the right. You're going to have your 2 receivers here on the left. So one thing I'm going to look at here is now I saw this number 10 here kind of shifted to the middle of the field to take away the initial slant. Could have waited to hit it, but I saw, because he played so far over, that the backside slant was wide open. So if you have to do that where the setup where no one is lined up across from him, yeah, I mean, if there's nobody lined up over him, you could put him on a streak. Again, the one thing I talk about this on offense is if you only run 1 or 2 plays out of a formation, when you come back to those formations, and what you see is that usually people are running the same plays. They're not changing it up. Think of it like a creature of habit. Defense is no different. So if they're going to go double mug, majority of people are running mid blitz. They may fall back into a cover 3. Most people aren't running a cover 2. So, obviously the weakness in cover 3 is seams. If I wanted to, let's just say I'm going to put something here. I'm going to put A on a streak. So what I might then do is just put RB on a zig. But what I'm going to do is, if there's an opportunity or a window here to streak, to throw A pass, lead him inside, I will do it. I'm going to watch how that middle defender kind of reads. He plays man. I should have hit the other slant, actually. Sometimes things just get boxed. They play really good coverage. But here's a never cover 3 look here. Let's take a look here. Put the same low route combination up. I'm going to watch A, see where he goes. I'm going to pass lead this up here. Now, even though they weren't like completely vacant from the area, you see that I was able to pass lead it into that gap. And that's one place that you can really exploit cover 3 in that single high safety look. I personally don't run that a lot in games. I know it's there and it's open. I just feel like the success for me personally is never quite there. But that is one way to absolutely do that. And, I mean, you could put it on the other side as well if you wanted to. Maybe you do something like this. And then I'm going to change it up, right? I'm going to have these guys all attacking the seams, B-A-Y. See if anybody gets open. And you see kind of A is right there down the seam for a touchdown. So definitely opportunities from that. That's what makes 5 wide really, really tough. And a lot of people do like playing cover 3 against it, which always leaves that open. So again, the smart thing, if you're a user on defense, you may man up that star linebacker on that number 10 guy that we're streaking. But if they do that, then now they're leaving the middle more wide open and depending on their user to cover everything. So definitely a cat and mouse game. Pay attention to the safety high look here. So again, pre-safety read. Yes, it's the same thing. Seams are wide open on cover 3. But the safety look, if you see a too high safety, usually it is a cover 2, cover 4, and then it is possible cover 6, cover 9. If you see single high safety, it's usually cover 1 or cover 3. Learn from experience. But now differentiating cover 2 and cover 4. Now this is assuming that people aren't putting a shell defense out there. Cover 2 is going to have your corners. You see they're lined up on the 25-yard line, which is roughly 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. It's symmetrical. Usually that means it is a cover 2. If you see them anywhere from the 7 to 10-yard mark and they're closer to the horizontal alignment as the safeties, it's usually a cover 4. So cover 6 and cover 9, their looks are going to be 2 high safeties, and you're going to see one of the corners slightly closer to the line of scrimmage than the other. The one that's usually closer to the line of scrimmage is going to be running the cover 2 side of it, or the flat. They're going to run a hard flat is what they're running. But stick, again, 5 wide exploits the seam, so it's not just this one play. But stick is extremely good. We'll look here. Double pivot's another really good one. Again, people try to run mid blitz or some kind of man. This is really good against zone as well. You don't have to make a lot of hot routes or adjustments for this. But our 2 reads are going to be our 2 whip routes here, which is Y and A. You're just going to read Y. We're going to hit A, and probably should have got picked off right there. But 5-yard play. You have RB here kind of running this little behind in like this. kind of wait for him to cut across the formation as he drops an easy pass. But one of the things I really do like, again, comeback route. So I'm going to show you why here, assuming my line holds up, that the comeback here, boom, top of the route. I don't know why he turned like that, but we're able to possession catch it. I don't care. You have a superstar corner. It's not going to matter here. We'll run it to the left here, see if we can get the same kind of look. They're going to run a double team. Of course, we get hit. Go back out here. Okay, single high look. I know it'll work here. Just a matter of us getting time. Again, keep getting hit. Run this one more time. I don't want this to be the sole focus, but I really want to show you guys why. Oh my goodness. All right. We'll come back to the comeback routes. Obviously, it said Texas Tech. The reason why I picked 94 defense, they're going to get pressure on us. One other thing you can do, what I do like, if I'm going to make any kind of hot routes or adjustments, is I may put Y here on a drag. I'm actually going to streak A, and then I'm going to put RB on this post. And again, I still have my comeback here on the right. The reason why this is going to be effective here is that I'm going to have my quick read underneath on the drag. If the user doesn't take it away, we take our underneath routes all game long. That streak is going to occupy that middle safety no matter what. And then it's going to be this RB on this post that's going to run behind it, which is going to allow me to hit him or the drag. So we're just going to take a look here. Again, you see the drag gets across the formation quick. Again, I mean, they had a 5-man rush with this crazy 94 defense. And it wasn't a blitz per se, but, I mean, they're getting back there quick, but not quick enough to stop this drag. So, again, watch out here. Had the comeback. Again, I'm going to take the drag here. A safety played a buzz zone on the left, so he's able to drop down. He would have taken away that slant, or that post, sorry. Again, here, take a read here. Here is the comeback. Again, that's the worst case scenario right there, is it can be deflected, knocked out. Yeah, the D-line is crazy. Practice mode always acts out a lot crazier than actual in-game. Here, it looks like they're running a nickel mint here. So, again, now I'm actually trying to use my brain here and actually make smart reads. What it looks like, even though this may be a cover 2, is that you notice the star linebacker on the edge. Unless they play a cover 4, he's going to drop in. The zig route should be wide open. It is a cover 4. He fell back. That zig is going to get to the sideline before he can get out there. Again, it's just really, really simple reads here. I want to show where this post gets open here. Here they're going to run, geez Louise. Texas Tech is not playing here. And there's right here on this post. Took us about 5 or 6 tries to get the line to hold up. But that's why I said that's what's so good. If you can get this to work against really good defenses in practice mode, where practice mode 90 rated guys play like 99 rated guys. They literally play like ultimate team guys with abilities. It's crazy. But you see how that post can get open. It could possibly be, a one-play touchdown or a super big gain. But again, it's not necessarily needed. You can leave all this stuff stock. If you don't like the rounded in route from RB, just put them on a slant. And again, here we got this zig now. We didn't really highlight the zigs early outside of the first play. But it's really about making your reads. But once you have your audible set as well, again, this might be something where I'm going to audible to shock here. I see there's no middle linebackers occupying the middle. I'm going to look here at my little choice route here from A. Nice 5 yards. If that guy shifts to the right, there's nobody in the middle, I'm going to hit these slants. So, again, 5 wide it's really easy to put concepts out there to make it work. But you have to know, as I actually hit a play here, just about knowing what plays the audible to, what's going to be your reads, what route concepts you're going to put out there. Stick is really good. Stick and nod is another pretty solid one. I do like scissors. Scissors, I'll just run this quickly. Again, because I don't want to spend crazy amount of time in just one formation. Here they're going to give us a man look. One thing that can beat man is drags. Again, you want to put this guy on a streak. You can put him on the streak. And immediately what I'm looking at here is I'm going to lead drag, and I'm going to watch the separation here from Cooper on the RB. He should get outside. We got bumped and a red bar throw, so it probably wasn't going to get completed anyway. But that's where you're going to be able to make these reads here. So again, here now we see the blitz. This drag comes. Blitzing against a 5 wide is going to just be extremely difficult here. So again, just kind of go to this. Let the drag come across. If they try to cheat on the drag, you're going to have that post over the middle. And then, of course, you're going to have your flood concept to the right. So that's going to be 5 wide. Again, I was in there a lot longer than I wanted to be, but just kind of showing you the different concepts of this, how to make it effective. Spread, I think some of the best things you can do in this game is 2x2 sets. So I come in here, I look at the plays. Can we run out of this? I see a quick base. Quick base is one of the better runs in the game. You have an inside zone, and you have a read option. So that's going to be your runs. We have a screen play from the running back. We have different RPOs. You have this play action tunnel screen here on the right. And then slot fades is always a good play. Then you have mesh and mesh post, mesh spot. So what I'm going to take a look here at mesh post. I like mesh post because of the sharp cutting post route from B. And then you have this mesh concept from Y. So the only thing I would probably do is I'd probably put X on the comeback. And again, you're just going to make your reads. If they're not playing underneath and they give us the flats, you have your running back, you have your drags underneath. Take a look here. Again, look like some kind of match coverage. Just hit your drags underneath. Once the defense starts shading underneath, that's when you could start attacking more of the middle of the field here. So, again, run this just a few more times here. Again, I like the way that the left side of the field looks here. So I'm going to watch this drag coming across possibly. And again, it looked like if it wasn't going to be open right away, that the drag coming over was going to be wide open. And then if I really want to get B again involved, kind of very similar to our 5 wide, put a streak on the inside to occupy a deep safety. And then again, if we get time here, you're going to have this nice little post coming behind it for a huge, huge gain. So mesh post is super, super solid. Bunch of different routes you can put out there, or little small hot routes to make it even better. And that is the whole key to offense. You don't want to make a whole lot of adjustments, but if you do, just knowing what to exploit on certain defenses here. So motion Z spot is one. Hey, out. Out. Yeah. Close the door, please. Close. Sorry about that, guys. It's okay, baby. So, again, we'll look here. You have some of these different orbit plays that are kind of cool that you can put in. But the thing about those is you got to realize there's no motion type runs out of that default thing, so that stuff can be tell. I don't like running a lot of stuff that kind of gives a tell of what I'm doing here. But again, you have deep choice. Again, some of the things here I do like is I like this RPO alert slide out. I think this can be very good. Hardest formation in the game to defend. I think it's 2x2 sets. I really think tight wide off, tight open. And then I think a 5 wide can be really difficult, like I said, because you're not going to be able to blitz it. And if you do, like I said, you're going to have to be really good with your defensive adjustments. I don't think you're going to be able to just play straight man coverage against it. Obviously, RPOs, you're going to be like, well, why are you showing me an RPO? They're simple. They're simple but effective. Again, the cool thing about RPOs, not everyone, but I think it's the alerts. I don't think you can do it on the reads, but the alerts here, you notice I can change the routes here to these guys. So if I want to put A on a slant, I can put them on a slant. I'm going to reset the play here. I like this speed out, and I'm just going to read that slot defender. I'm going to see, does he drop back? He does. I can speed throw this here. Speed out routes are some of the best routes in the game as well. So, but I also think the hardest formation to stop is the one that you can have the most efficient offense out of. So for me personally, tight Y off I think is the best one because I have short, intermediate, and deep reads. I have different plays, play action, screens, jet sweeps, and then I can hot route different route combinations in there to get stuff. So The default plays are great, and then the way I can maneuver and hot route based on whatever the defensive front is that I'm getting. So that's going to kind of just be gun spread here in a nutshell. Other one I like here, bunch trio open. I think you can run a really good scheme out of this. This to me is, I'm going to say, a poor man's version of the bunch open offset out of Oregon. It used to be in Alabama. Bunch of playbooks have bunch open offset. And again, what we'll look at here, this one I may spend a little bit of time in just because, again, the plays are really good. But wide receiver, RPO read wide receiver screen. I don't know, RPO trap alert screen. I don't know if you can do it out of the RPO alert quarterback draw. We're going to look at it. But these RPOs, I'm going to come out in here. Again, random defense. The whole thing with these RPOs is you want to make guys choose what they're going to defend. So we're going to have trips formation on the right. You see there's 3 DBs over there. So immediately my focus now shifts to the middle of the field and the box. There's 6 guys in the box. And I see there's a solo receiver on the left. So typically, if my bunch side is matched up in personnel, I don't want to force that. Guys can shoot through and pick it off. I'm going to look here at the solo side receiver and see here if that slot defender drops back off the edge. He did, so I could throw the nice little option stick route there to X. Now here there's press coverage on the left. I don't like the press coverage in an RPO situation. Again, you have 6 guys in the box, but now if you look here, there's only 1 DB to the right. So I automatically going to snap, hold B, pass lead it outside away from that defender, and go upfield with it. Now, again, there's going to be some plays people are going to stop stuff. Sometimes things get boxed. You have to know that not every play is 100%. That's just not the way the mechanics work here. But again here, press coverage on the left. I'm not liking it. I look at the right here. There's 4 DBs or 3 DBs and a linebacker shade over to the right. It could still very well be open if they drop back. But I'm going to go 5-on-5 here in the box. 40 linemen, the linebacker over the middle. I'm just going to hand this off. And, of course, the defensive tackle just completely obliterates our guard and destroys us in the backfield, which, again, can absolutely happen. We're going to run it again here and just see here. And this time we're able to get positive yardage. But that's, like I said, that's going to be kind of the nature of this particular play and these RPOs, especially if you're going to make them respect outside. Here again, they had 2 people. One of them, number 7, the middle linebacker, was kind of outside but wasn't committed, and he automatically shifted inside, which I knew I could just bullet past that out there. So I'm not going to show all the 3 RPOs, but they run the same. It's the exact same reads for all of them. So as you look, RPO alert quarterback draw, RPO read wide receiver screen, and RPO trap alert screen. The only difference in those is the type of runs. One's a draw, one's a trap alert, which is a pulling guard, and the other one is going to be the read wide receiver screen, which is just going to be the inside zone type look. So now moving away from that, one of the screens I do like, I think it is probably the next best type of screen outside of the halfback angle screen out of TCU's playbook. It's in a few others. It's in Miami's. I can't remember if it's in Alabama's or not. But this cross screen kind of comes across where he doesn't get caught on the lineman here. You let him cross. Again, don't hold turbo. Let your guys pick their blocks up. And, again, just follow your blockers. Get whatever yards you're going to get. Part of the key, though, also here in this, my bad, I completely just brain farted and forgot what I was going to say. But if you look here, again, I'm looking at the reads to the right. I actually have this smoke screen here. I could throw this right away, and I'm going to have something else to go to. But the good thing about this cross screen is if you have this in your audibles, or you can come out in audible to another play, run, hurry up, come back to this, it is something that you can absolutely use. Cross screens are extremely good. They have big home run type potential. Basic inside zone here. And then what we're going to look at here is there is Z-Spot. Z-Spot is going to have a flood concept here. And the main way to run this, if you want to run it stock, you can run it stock. I like doing 2 different ways. Is I like putting A on a zig. If he's just on a straight flat, I feel like he gets to the sideline too quick, and then he can bounce up the sideline, which makes that throw extremely difficult, or it can be into a defender. And if I do that, I'm actually going to put Y here on a streak, or you can put them on a Texas route. Either one, just kind of whatever your personal preference is. But again, we're going to make this read here. I see they're not playing a hard flat. I'm going to throw this to the zig route here for 5 yards. Again, we'll just kind of run this just a few times. I'm going to pay attention here. Again, they run man. Throw the zig route for 5 yards. I was hoping they would give us a zone look so I can show you this corner route here on the sideline. And then I will show you the alternate setups here. Here, corner, come back, user catch it, or drop it. And then the other thing to do, actually, which I think this does a great job of exploiting the flats. Still streak, keep that corner. We're going to put A here on the drag now. We're going to put Y on the flat. And so what this is going to do is now you're going to have a route that's going to threaten back coming across the middle of the field here. And you see it's going to get open here. It looked like they ran a cover 2 based off the middle linebacker just kind of sprinting backwards. But, again, we'll take a look here now at the flats. And you see is because that 4 receiver alignment to the right side is sometimes the match coverage or the man alignment doesn't allow the linebacker to get over there quickly to take away this flat route. And then also you see is I'm able to get 10 yards on a flat route because this route right here, the streak, the corner route, they're pushing up the field. A is leaving to go across the middle. So everything on the right side of the field is being pushed up the field. That's what's going to allow this throw underneath to work here. And here I just get completely bagged. I actually had the post open. We'll run this one more time so we don't end it like that. If you see that there's coverage like that on the left here, I'm going to see if I can find a spot for it. Again, right here, pass lead it down, click on, come back underneath and catch it. Again, a lot of users you're going to play in your dynasties, your road to CFPs, all that stuff. They're going to use you in the middle of the field. And they see that drag coming around, that's the only route. They're going to go play that. That's going to leave that post wide open. So, again, Z-spot, it's great. It's in a bunch of bunch formations, other trips formations. Very easy concept to run with the streak of corner and some kind of flat. And then fake screen verts is solid too. Again, I'm not a big fan of this particular route combination that is out here. I feel like you'd have to do quite a bit to it. I'm probably going to put X here on a comeback. Maybe you put Y on this Texas route. Maybe you put them on an in route. But you're going to have the smoke screen if they don't drop. They do drop. Here, this guy wins right away on this kind of crossing post. Although we can't throw the ball very good. So that's going to kind of nullify that. Again, they leave that smoke screen open. It's going to be really easy to throw this. RB is not really ever going to be a threat. I'm sorry, A is not going to be the threat. X, that's why I put him on a comeback route. You don't just want streaks. Streaks, unless they're playing press coverage with no help over the top, is that I don't think streaks are that useful unless you somehow are just extremely good at catching jump balls, things of that nature. So you're going to want something to combat with this crosser and the smoke screen. So over there, to give him a threat, is you're going to put him on a comeback. Again, you do something like this. Put him on a drag. Texas route behind it. They bring a blitz. We had the smoke screen. Probably could have hit the drag, but running back out of the backfield. Again, just easy yards. So, again, very simple out of these trips formations. Offense is very rewarding in this year's game. Sometimes you don't have to make the best reads, but offense is very simple. If you can just get basic concepts down in your reads, a lot of times you're going to be better off than not. Where you get in trouble is where you see where I've gotten sacked in some of these videos is you're just staring down one or two options, and sometimes those get bagged and taken away from you. So bunch trio open, really solid. Go look at Wing Trips Week, I believe it is called. I think I passed it here. Wing Trips Week. Again, couple plays in here. It's not so much that the formation is great, but it's got some really cool, unique plays. motion Mustang slide screen. It's going to be this reverse screen coming across the backside here. But this is why I wanted to choose it right here. Again, not a lot. There's RPO read Y flat, which is extremely good. We talked about those, but is RPO quarterback power alert flat. Again, I have not ran this particular play. I'm just telling you why it looks so unique. So this isn't something that you see. So here I'm looking at my run blocking situation. If these guys all pick up their blocks, double team on the nose tackle on the left, everybody else is kind of manning up. But I'm going to read what are they doing to RB. They kind of commit down here. We can throw this down. You see this guy picks up the guy up the field. So again, stuff like this is extremely cool to sit there and try to find here. Hold it a little bit longer there. Again, let him get open, see what the defense is going to do, and then here we're kind of able to break a tackle and score here, right? Now, I'm going to hold the ball purposely here with the quarterback and just kind of see here. And again, wasn't good there. The run would have been open. Yeah, actually, I don't really care for the quarterback draw portion of this. I don't know. Maybe they'd have to be in like a 3-down lineman set, or if there is a way for you to get out of that animation. But again, it looks like the RB route is going to be your money here. Again, really cool play. We've obviously hit really big on it, and that can be kind of worst case scenario is that. Or if you keep it with your quarterback, you're just not going to get much yardage out of it. But yeah, again, wing trips week, again, just unique plays in there. I think it's really cool, something cool to implement into your gameplay. Shotgun wide or gun wide. Again, this is almost out of like a veer and shoot type playbooks. Spreads have them as well. But I really like it because I'm going to come out in quick base here. But because everything is so spread out to the sideline, is that you're really making the defense choose on how they're going to defend you, right? So here I really got 5-on-5, hat on a hat in the box. It should make running for me relatively easy or high success rate. I shouldn't get hit in the backfield much unless there's block sheds. Here, 5-down lineman. Again, if we can just escape the backside here, we're able to get 6 yards. But you see now they're going to have to do something like this where they shift your defense. Now they got 5, kind of 6 guys possibly here. And they stop us for no gain, which has been the worst particular gain here out of the run. Now, against mid-blitz and this double mug, usually runs kill this. Now, mind you, they're not doing the hover technique, but you see this is what people do. If they try to run double A gap, if you have a halfback base, it'll actually cook it. Again, you can always possibly get block shedded, which is very possible in the game, but it is I want to say an 80% chance that the halfback base is just going to absolutely wreck double mug, unless the user just has a really good way of block shedding themselves. Halfback base is extremely good, and the wide sets really just put people in problems. Then you have the speed option. I do like the RPO bubble out of this. Again, because now after you've hit them with runs, read options, halfback base, inside zone, they're going to either drag slot corners or they're going to drag safeties down, put those in the box to try and stop it, and then the bubble is going to be there here. We'll just run it 1 or 2 times because sometimes this actually Hitch has the opportunity as well. But yeah, you just watch the P icon. If the P icon goes outside with the bubble, like it does here, then you just hand it off. Again, sometimes that can be not as rewarding. Take a look here again. He drops back. Now we can hit the bubble, get yards upfield. So again, it's just a great complement to the base play. My only other issue with this is it's hard to put a lot of good route concepts out of wide. But we are going to make something happen here. What I'm going to do is Y's on this slot fade. I like putting X on a speed return. And then I'm actually going to put RB on a streak. If you want to put it on a Texas, you absolutely can. I'm going to streak A here. And then I'm actually going to do something like this where I'm going to put this backside in and maybe just stem him up one. So I'm kind of have like a little bit of a dagger concept here on the right. But the one thing that's really cool is if you guys know anything about speed, return routes, if they're on the sideline, they actually break a lot quicker. Let me see if I can just show you that portion of it. You see he bounces off the sideline and really comes across the formation quicker. Now watch me put Y here on a return route. And you're just going to see he beats his man, but it's a little bit slower. He does his whole little zig route thing, pivots, and then comes back inside. If you want to put him on a slant, stem him down, you absolutely can do that as well. Again, something like a Texas route, maybe you drag B. You got this Texas route, of course, we get Air Jordan animation, drag underneath it. But that's my only issue with wide, is I feel like that the passing concepts can be very difficult out of there. You're going to have to run a lot of shallow stuff, maybe some slants, things of that nature. But you also have the speed option. Speed option can be very good in the goal line or short yard situation. You can motion over your slot receivers and give a really good look out of that. Bunch offset. Bunch offset is probably one of my favorite formations in the game that's not tight Y off. So right away, favorite play is in Bowling Green's playbook. Verts halfback under. You don't have to do anything to this. That's what's great. There's one adjustment where you would drag A, but again, what my read is 95% of the time is going to be this running back here. We'll just run him a couple times. He's going to get wide open. You have a decent route running back. He's going to get open every single time. The user's really going to have to go and take that away. But the reason why he gets open here repetitively is A, B, RB. You see these routes on the screen? They're all going upfield. So it's going to stretch all the defenders upfield, so they're not going to be able to, they're not seeing underneath routes, so they're just dropping back. Right here, you've seen us run it 2-3 times. We get hit, of course, defensive line interception there. Could have thrown a little bit quicker here. The only knock is that sometimes this guy bumps into the line, right? But you see, I've ran this about 5 or 6 times. He's open every time for a gain. And then the other thing, too, is I'm going to be looking at B and A now, is I'm going to shift to them. Okay. Hey, get out. Judy! Close the door. So we're going to look at B here and A and just watch. If B gets an opportunity like this, where the defense drops back and that slot corner doesn't come down, it's just going to be a snap throw. You can get that again. Again, this time we got 4 or 5 yards, and that was off them playing a cloud flat there. But now we take a look here. Of course, they run man. Running back's going to be right there. But I'm going to show you cover 3. This absolutely just destroys cover 3. Certain zones. You're going to see A here will get up in there. Again, slow guy just got a touchdown for 30 yards. B is going to take away any outside defender. The slot defender sometimes gets stuck on this crossing route, matching up there. As you see, he automatically shifts inside to take away the crosser. This kind of comes like a little miniature wheel fade behind it. That's going to be wide open. And then, of course, like I said, you got RB going across. You can put him on a post and stem him down. If you want to put him on a crosser. And again, if we get time here, you're just going to kind of watch the defense there. I did not let him clear the linebacker. You're able to throw it over the top of his head here. Let me see. We can leave it here like this. Again, kind of maneuver in the pocket. And then there's your window for that, right? We didn't do that very good to play before. But we were able to get a one-play touchdown. And the reason why is because whatever the defensive zone here, as we go in the replay, let's just take a look. It's really the safety. Single high safety. You see he kind of goes with him, but this guy 82 over here, because he is now attacking the middle seam, this safety redirects his hips there. You see the top of the screen. He shifts back to help there. So that's going to leave this guy coming wide open once he clears the middle. This guy has his back turned. He's worried about the streak. So, again, vert halfback under is just a deadly play. One of the best stock plays in the game here. Another play that's super popular, if you guys haven't seen videos on this, dig return. It's been really popular for as long as Bunch has been around. You got this deep zig route that's going outside here. I'm just going to show you here. If I put my guy on his hot route zig, it doesn't go up there, and you can't stem that up. So you see here, it's about almost 4 to 5 yards. He runs it. It's going to beat man in zone. It's going to get opening at zones a lot because A is going to get to the flat, stretching out the side of the defense. You can leave RB on the in route. I prefer to put him on a crosser. As we or flipped a play here by mistake. But yeah, RB on a crosser. I'm going to streak X, kind of give us that same look that we had before. And then I'm going to put Y here on a flat route. So initial reads, Y, A in the flats. If there's no flat defenders down here, again, both got taken away. Then you have the zig route. What do I think the best screenplay is in all the formations that you've done so far? Probably that one out of the pistol strong slot open where it's like the wide receiver mid screen, but it's got the halfback screen. I just think it's different. Cross screen is really good. I can't remember which formation that we did it out of now. I don't remember if it was wing trips week or not, but those were been two of the better ones. And the good thing is, cross screens are in a lot of different playbooks. So if you don't know how to go look for those, go to concept, go to pass, and go for screen passes. It'll show you all the different screen passes you guys have in the game. Here again, we're going to go back, streak, flat on the right, put this crosser on B. You see they don't play the flats. I throw it to the tight end. Again, 10 yards. So I won't spend a lot of time. I'm going to try and minimize the time I'm putting on each play, but really just kind of showing you concepts that work out of multiple formations. But I'm also showing you the best plays and formations out of this particular playbook. So dig return, great play that you need to be using if you're not. Z spot, we talked about this in the trio, bunch trio open. Similar concept. The good thing about this one here, I'm just going to run it one time, is everything is not wide out to the sideline. So again, you're going to see A here, and then here we're going to have RB on this corner. Again, great catch. I can't do anything more for that. But that's why this flood concept is going to be so much better with bunch sets that aren't near the sideline or spread out wide. So, and then of course you have the same concept. You have this flat slant concept on the backside. You just kind of watch how they play it. They don't play the flats. Throw it here. Again, a bunch of great things you can do out of bunch with the running back on the weak side of the formation. So, Z spot, we showed you dig return, verts halfback under. Spacing switch is, again, and the other thing too is one of the better things about bunch, you want to run this to the wide side of the field. Here I'm right in the middle. So if I respot the ball, for example, and move it over to the left side of the field, the bunch is going to have a lot more space to work with on the right. But I'm trying to show you that you don't need it on the wide side for these concepts, for these plays to work. I really love this play here on the goal line, but it's great short yard situations. Great, just something to mix up. Again, same slant flat combo on the left, but now on the right is you're going to have this kind of like, it's not a speed out, but it's not like a regular out route either, right? So you're going to watch the outside corner. If he kind of plays man coverage or scoots outside, we're not going to throw it. Then you're going to look at RB and A here, and you see he backpedals right away, so I can just pass through that outside to the sideline for a nice, easy completion. Again here, I like this out route, again, just because of where the outside corner's lined up. I have leverage, but maybe he plays it really well. He does, and even then, he's not able to get there. So, Dolo, what's good, brother? So, now here, if we get a zone look, they keep giving us man-type looks here. Man look, again, you have that speed out. You're going to have X on the slant. The other thing, you see RB and A here. These really shine against zone, but there is an opportunity to throw them against man here. You're going to see here, I threw it late, but as soon as he stops, you're going to try and pass lead it down and away. And try and possession catch. That's going to be the best thing with those routes. Here they're going to run a man blitz, it looks like. So I'm going to look at the slant here. You see there, of course, the defensive tackle bats it up and they get an interception. Again, this looks like some kind of crazy man blitz here. Maybe DB fire of some sort. Again, just kind of make your reads. They're not able to get out there quick enough. I really want to show this against zone where you're going to have RB and A here. And you see right there is actually perfect. I don't care that we got hit. Let's just go to this and take a look. Against zone, RB and A is going to put these guys in a predicament here. We got like screamed at like immediately here. But you see here's A on his little button hook over the middle. And then RB is going to stop right here in this spot. It's just an easy 5-yard throw. Again, we had the out route, but we weren't focusing on that. But a lot of times you're going to see this, especially in zone, is the user and or the computer, if they're not going to use it in the middle themselves, is going to leave one of these two options open. It's just you just hitting it right away, kind of basically right as they make their cut. But super good in the goal line play setting of the defense on the field. And again, that I get a lot of touchdowns off that. Me personally. Again, bunch of offset spacing switch is going to be in a lot of bunches that are in a lot of playbooks. So make sure you guys are adding that in there. We have these different runs. You have inside zone split, outside zone. One I do like here is going to be motion wide receiver mid-screen. But again, remember what I told you guys is try not to give plays away that are tells. So if you're going to run this play, run the other plays that are motion to sprinkle it so you have a chance to mix it up here. Again, it's kind of cool. You got this swing. That could be there. I can throw this again. I think that's the third defensive lineman pick, them jumping at the line of scrimmage. So, that's a cool thing. If you guys want to clip that, we can clip that. But the other thing sometimes is this swing route, what I've noticed in a lot of these motion screens, they kind of go uncovered. And I'm not sure why that is, but it happens quite a bit here. And you see, again, this time they kind of try and play it, but our blocker gets out there. But it's just another option to go to. So, and then, of course, you have backside slant if that's open. So you do have 3 options. Even though it's a motion wide receiver screen, there's a bunch of things to do here. These are different. These are orbit plays. So, you have one that's an RPO, a PA, and then the alert buck. So, again, bunch of cool stuff and bunch of offset. Again, I think it's one of the better formations in the game. I loved it because it was in Maryland and Bowling Green. So, again, I also have ebooks on those. If you guys aren't a part of the Patreon, go check it out. Doesn't cost anything to become a member over there. But, again, if you guys are interested in more content like that, like different ebooks, we got 4.3, 3.4, 3.3.5 tight. All kind of cool stuff over there. So, moving on here, slot right. So, this is another one that is typically usually found in veer and shoot type playbooks or spreads. And the reason why I like it is the run setups here. So if you notice, they have this counter Y, inside zone split, halfback ISO. I don't know how good this is going to work in practice mode, again, because practice mode acts crazy. But I would get lots of yards running the ball here. Based off this is, for whatever reason, the tight end, the offensive line, they just seem to block better. So I don't know if you guys run halfback draws quite a bit. Halfback draws, the blocking just seems to be a lot better. Here, this defensive tackle is just absolutely schooling our center here. See if we can run this again, get a decent look. That kind of decent. Again, 3 or 4 yards, not bad. But the best run is the trap, although it's not in here. But again, this is a really good solid play that you can run out of. And then what we'll have is the counter. The counters work really good too because now you have 2 pulling people. But RPO read Y flat. Again, having a good RPO in your playbook is always nice. And remember what we talked about earlier. You want to look at numbers. So the read icon can't play the Y passing route. It can only be the P icon. If he shifts inside, you're going to hit Y. We'll just take a look at it. You see he automatically comes in. I got these 2 guys picking the blockers upfield. We get 10, 11 yards. And then again, if you get this kind of this man look here on the left, right, we just take a look. Again, I can quick throw this hitch there if they're going to back off and give us space. So super simple reads. And then, of course, you always have the read option formation here. If you want to hold it, keep it with your quarterback. And then, again, get about 15, 16 yards there. So Slot right offers some different stuff. The one thing is not a lot of great passing plays, but you have, again, RPO alert bubble, wide receiver screen, PA wheel can be a really solid play as well. And then you have verticals. So verticals, I might just do something. I can put B on this comeback route, and then I can put RB on a speed out. I could put him on a zig. If I put him on a speed out route, again, I have A on this other in route, so let's kind of just take a look here. Speed out route wins. Throw it to the sideline, possession, catch it. They don't give us, again, speed out route here. Again, this time 6 or 7 yards. The guy just can't hold on to it. And then if we can get a look here, here is the in route. I was going to look for the comeback there, but they played kind of like this cover 2 hard flat look where they shade over the top. But again, a bunch of cool things you can do out of this. If you want to add another element to it and you want to keep this guy on the comeback, put RB on a drag, so now they're threatening the other side. Put Y on the flat. And again, now we have this drag attacking late across the other side of the field. That's going to get you some really solid yards. So that's going to be kind of it for the slot right. But again, some decent plays in there. Again, slot left is kind of stuff. All it is slot receivers on the left. They got some different stuff with jets and different motions and things like that. Probably got some better pass plays as well. Speed option. But again, a lot of these compressed sets with this tight end in the backfield is going to kind of give you the same kind of feel. So, all right. We got 3 formations left we're going to dive into here. We're going to look at empty quads here. Empty quads. Again, another empty set. I don't think it's as good as 5 wide receivers because there is 4 receivers lined up on one side. And usually with that is people are not running a lot of stuff with their solo receivers. So, again, if you look at verts double under, cross the post, all go, vert double under, all these guys are running streaks. So if I got like an outside third there or cover 4, that route is useless to me. So that's where you start putting in comeback routes, or you put them on drags, or just something to occupy to give him a chance. A streak does not do us much if he's on the outside. So vert halfback under here. I like this a lot because this streak from A, we're going to watch that middle linebacker with the fire emoji on his head. He is the entire tell. If he drops back, you have Y and or RB underneath. Y is going to be the quick read. If he tries to drop down shade underneath, you're going to have A. And here I accidentally possession catch it. But again, you see 5 yards, very simple. Here, again, maybe looks like some kind of crazy man alignment. Take a look. Again, the drag. But that's the one thing this will do, especially against match coverage. Or cover 4, quarters, palms, because there's only that one route on the left, that slot corner on the left side of the screen with the fire emoji, he is just going to match on that streak and just go deep, leaving Y completely wide open. So, again, see if we can see a look here. Here's a little opportunity to pass lead this over the middle as we break a bunch of tackles there, get about 28 yards. If I could throw it to him a little bit earlier so I can lead him away from that safety, got really close there. Take a look here. Now you have RB. RB's really going to get open because let's say this middle user here, right? Of course, they're going to give us a man look. But pretend this guy with the M and the fire emoji over his head, the Mike linebacker, is the user. If he doesn't go with the streak or the drag, which is very unlikely, RB is just going to come right behind it wide open. Here they ran man. It was a nice little pick route for the drag. But you guys really see how this is going to be open. I also didn't feature the comeback. Seems like every time I try to run this, I get screamed at. Here we just hit the in route. They played help on the comeback. So, again, we'll move on to the next play here. Out of this empty quads. Now, the one thing that would be really nice here, QB blast. We talked about this 5 wide receivers. Again, if you're playing in a league with play cooldown, this is something you can absolutely go to on the goal line, hurry up situations. And again, don't hold turbo. I did there, accelerated the block shed. But you see I'm going to hold it, not hold it, sorry. Again, getting about 5 to 6 yards. It's all about consistency, right? And this is always going to keep our playbook open. As DT there just completely just schooled us. Excuse me. But QB blast, again, great play to sit there and throw in. You also have this RPO alert quarterback draw. So you have the bubble, the hitch to the left, or the draw with the quarterback. Obviously, we saw how that went on the earlier formation, so I'm not as keen to run that particular play. I'll go cross the post. These kind of have some similar concepts here. What I'm going to do is I'll just pick cross the post. Reason why I like it is, again, drag. You got this crosser behind it, and then you have an out route and a post. One of the cool things you can do here, streak, put this post behind it here. If we get time, and I didn't pass lead it over, we actually dropped it. Probably could have been a touchdown, but that's a way to get these other guys involved in the play. And there we red barred it, throw it a pick. But again, really that's not the focus of the play. The focus is going to be this drag and this crosser going here from right to left. So just making the read simple here. Again, if they don't cover it, they're not going to cover it. But again, people like playing a lot of cover 4, cover 3 against it. And if they're in match principles, this drag's going to get across the formation extremely quick. Right here, I mean, that's a receiver. So receivers are going to get there a lot quicker than versus like a tight end. So let's see what else we got in here. This is wide receiver screen. I really don't care from the slot perspective. And then pivot dig can be interesting, or curl pivot dig, sorry. Curl pivot dig, again, what I'm going to do here is I'm actually going to put B on this comeback route. I have the zig underneath. You have this post from A, drag from Y. So you kind of have a levels concept in the middle, and then you have this high-low read on the right. Again, I see right away the way they're playing. The slot corner drops back to cover, so the zig route's going to be there. If we see any kind of hard flat commitment, we have the comeback. Let's take a look here. Again, you see there, I got the cornerback to just kind of commit down just a little bit, and that's where that comeback's going to be open. So we've been trying to get that for a good portion of the night. Let me see here. Again, if we want to put X, maybe you put him on a streak. You put A on this crosser. That could be something that hits deep here. Again, if you get the protection to hold up here, there's going to be A on this crosser wide open. So, again, empty quads. I don't like it as good as the 5 wide receiver because I feel like you can attack both sides versus empty quads. You're really only attacking one side of the field. But you see that there's big home run potential in empty quads. Let's go to slot left stack. Can't remember if this was one I just kind of liked for one play that was unique. There's only 9 plays in here. I'm actually not even quite sure why I chose this one. Actually, you know what? I know what it was. Again, unique plays, right? Gun slot left stack. You see there's not a lot of pass plays. There's actually like a PA play, a jailbreak screen off PA, and then the RP alert speed out. I like the alert speed out because of where this guy on the speed out is lined up close to the line of scrimmage. And then you have your bubble from the stack formation. So if I see one-on-one to the right, I'm almost throwing the speed out route every time. And if you have like a faster guy with like the cutter ability or just a shifty receiver period, he's actually going to get outside there. And a lot of times against a man, he actually breaks the defender's ankles and he's able to get outside, turn upfield for a huge gain. Zones, they're not playing hard flats from the outside corner. You can literally almost throw it against any zone. And then, of course, you got the stack look here. If your outside receiver will just pick up that slot corner, it's just going to be you one-on-one. And then, of course, if they play it, they don't there, is you just hand it off, take your free yards. So some cool things you can do out of this gun slot left stack look. The other thing I really like here is zone fake jet pass fake zone, jet touch pass. What's going to make these effective, again, it's not going to show here in practice, but if I run jet touch pass 3 times in a row in the game, every time they see that guy in motion, the user is going to follow that motion over trying to stop the jet touch pass. And that's where the zone fake jet is going to get extremely effective. So that is one of the reasons why you want to mix those two up. I prefer whichever way you want to do it. If you want to run zone fake jet 3 times, then sprinkle in the jet touch pass, you can absolutely do that. I would do it the other way around, but again, gun slot left stack is pretty good here. Again, you got a read option, then of course you got speed option. I think speed option and then halfback dive, they're going to be really good on the goal line. PA jailbreak screen, this can be very good. Remember with PA plays, if you want to cancel the play action to get away this pass really quick, I'm going to show you here, is I'm going to force this to be regardless. Hold RT at the snap. You'll see he comes out of the animation, and I'm able to throw it right away. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the whole play action animation play here before I can throw it. And you see it's very, very late. I mean, it wasn't open there anyways, but you don't get the same timing throw from it versus me throwing it right away. So then on the flip side, again, play action plays work if you set up the run with this. So don't just come out running PA plays and you're not running the ball. Otherwise, they're not going to be effective. But here, screen, you let the screens develop. If they don't play man or crash down, you're going to be able to hit X right away here. We'll just run this 2 times. You see, again, let your blockers develop. And again, we're getting 4 to 5 yards, 20 yards. Run this one more time, see if they actually play it. And there actually, the corner played down to try and come get it. But because I pass let it inside, the outside blocker pulled him, was able to knock him on his butt. And we were able to take it for a touchdown. So that's going to be slot left stack. And then our final one, Y off trips stack. Again, just taking a look here at a few of the plays. They got a bunch of runs in here that are pretty solid. Trying to figure out duo. Again, Texas Tech's been eating our lunch here, but duo is one of the best shotgun runs in the game. And what makes it so good is, I don't know if our running back's shifty enough to do this, but you see it looks like it's a zone right up the middle, but you can go to the left, to the right. You can bounce it outside. You can even cut back like this here. Of course, the guy block sheds, but you're able to bounce it back out here across the side. To me, it's one of the few runs that allows you to go to either side and up any gap here from the shotgun set. So that's a duo. So again, duo's in a bunch of playbooks. Obviously, I believe it's in TCU, but I know for a fact it's in Oregon. It's in Miami. It's in Bowling Green. It's in Maryland. It's in a bunch of playbooks. So one of the other things here, again, you have RPO alert power. Again, the reason why I kind of like this is you have the RPO to RB there, but I also like it because of the trap run. So again, you just kind of watch how they play. They drop back, throw it here, get your few yards. I really like it for the trap run here. I'm going to run the trap. And you see here how blocks develop. We can change fields on this, get about 7 to 8 yards. So again, a lot of these formations where the stack look is right. It's hard to put a really good route combination out there from a stack look. But when you add in this RPO with a really good trap run and the pulling guards and things like that, and then you add in like an option, it makes it extremely tough or more difficult to be able to defend. And once you set up these other stuff, like you said, there's not a lot of base pass plays in here or stock pass plays that don't have play action built into it. But you have a slip screen as well. But 4 verticals isn't bad. Let me see, where's the PA play? Motion PA boot slide is nice, but again, it's a tell. Let's take a look here. We'll just do 4 verticals, because 4 verticals is kind of like the easiest thing here. Again, if they're going to play press coverage with this one high look, if you have a fast enough receiver with good press beating abilities, you can throw it to X outside. Let me see, I can't put RB. I can put B here on this comeback. I'm going to put RB here on a drag. So, basically, I'm just going to read the right side of the field. If they play help over there, I'm going to throw it to B. If they don't, if they play help over there, I'm going to hit the drag. If they don't play help, I'm going to have B. And then you have A on your crosser as well. You see right away that linebacker drops back to take that tight end that's going to be on the deep crosser, which is just going to leave that drag to come wide open here. So again, take another look at this. Again, watch the right side of the field. They're playing cover 3. They're playing help over there, so the comeback's not going to be open. That's fine. Here it looks like I'm going to get blitzed, so we're just hoping that we can get this off in time. I'm going to put my running back here on a flat route if they do blitz, so I can exploit that. Boom, hot route. Of course, guys going to be wide open for a huge play, and the defensive lineman just makes a play. So then here on A, right, is we can leave A on this. Again, I think this is really a preference of play style. A lot of people will like to put them on a deep crosser, which is what I like. But you notice the tight end deep crosser is not as deep up the field. So he might be better to put on a stem down post. Again, just kind of take a look here. Let him clear. And again, we find him a nice little soft spot over the zone here. Probably should wait another half second to make him really obvious. Kind of anticipated the throw. But again, easy touchdown. I think 4 verse is going to be the play to do it out of. If you want to put this guy on a comeback, now you put him on a streak. You can do that. And then I put Y on a flat. So now I have all these vertical stretching routes. And I should be able to hit A possibly for 1 play touchdown. That drag is going to drag down that deep third. Get him to kind of hold here. I didn't even get time to do it there. I just got completely wrecked. But that is the fun part about practice mode. But again here, you look, they don't play the flats. You have a nice little flat look. Again, that's the main thing I can stress to on offense. Make people respect underneath. That's going to open up your stuff over the top for the bigger plays. If people are playing hard flats right away, then what they'll end up doing is they're going to leave the intermediate stuff. You need to show that you can beat that. I think it is one of the best defensive strategies as well, is to play hard flats and see if people can make the intermediate reads on the sideline or over the middle with the route concepts. So I think offense should be targeting the flats, and I think defense starting the game should take away the flats to see if your user can beat it. So let's see. What are the best RPOs that you have ran this year? Best RPOs. RPO read Y flat is always one of the best ones. Read bubbles out of certain formations are good. Let's actually go into concepts here real quick. Play types, RPO. This is where you can see your different ones. So RPO read Y flat is going to be extremely good. I really like ones like this that run behind the line of scrimmage. So we'll go in here, gun wing trips weak here. And again, all about reads here. So if you notice, the read icon for the read option defender and the PI option are on the left side of the screen. Versus the bubble screen, we don't have a read for that. So the bubble screen is still very much an option. You should read that slot. But if we're reading this read defender here, I am reading the PI icon to see if he crashes or he stays. And I waited too long to throw it. Let's run that again. So this is actually a great example. I'm almost kind of glad that happened. But if you notice, see how the PI icon is on the safety. If you ever see this in your RPOs, our flat read is always going to be open. Now, block sheds can happen. Guys can go over there. But the read defender, remember I told you before, the read defender can't play the pass. So the PI icon has to get down and play this red route that we're reading. So I'm going to hold it here, throw it. Of course, some guy comes over from the other side of the field to try and make a play on it. And we overthrow it for a red throw. But again, now the PI icon is the corner. And I want to say this is a really high percentage that the corner doesn't really play it. As we continue to hand this ball off, I'm not throwing it quick enough here. There. Again, terrible throw. We're not making the best examples of this here. Here they leave the bubble open. I don't know. Maybe this one at gun wing trips isn't as good. The most popular one, though, is going to be read Y flat. Like out of, we'll just go slot flat right here. No, hold on. I think there's another one I saw. Nope, gun slot right. That's fine. And again, it's really just reading it, but just all you're doing is reading the P icon. If you're really good at running read option, again, you read the read defender as well. But you're just kind of watching these guys here. pass leads outside, guys get off block sheds. Sometimes it's going to happen. So, trying to think if there's another RPO one that I'm just not thinking off the top of my head. Let's see, RPO peaks. I'm not a fan of RPO peaks, really. RPO alerts can be good. I like ones that looked at like that. RPO alert speed out. Because I like the speed out. I think it's one of the easiest and quickest routes to throw. Let me see. I can't remember if you can hot route out of this one. You can. So again, put them on there. If you want to hot route the other guy, you can hot route the other guy out there. It's goofy. You wouldn't do it for the bubbles, but I really like it for the RPO alert speed outs or RPO alert out because they're running those speed outs almost all the time. The other one that's really good, it doesn't look like we have it in here, is it's called RPO Bubble Y Pop. Let me see. I don't think I have one in this playbook. But what it is the tight end on the line of scrimmage, he's actually running a streak. I got only 38 plays here for RPO alert bubbles. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think there's one in here though. I actually got caught on it by a Notre Dame user in one of the leagues that I have, Texas A&M, and he surprisingly hits you with that every now and then. It makes it difficult, and you almost feel like when somebody comes out in that formation they ran it, that you almost feel like they're going to that every time, and you got to stop it. So, yeah, like I said, RPO rebuy flats are good. Bubbles, obviously the best ones aren't even really in this playbook here, now that I'm looking at it. But yeah, so that's in a nutshell, man. That's really kind of the SMU playbook. I said hour and a half here. I didn't think we would go this long on it. I really wanted to kind of keep it like on an hour. I just felt like the interest gauge of everybody, retention and stuff falls off just naturally. We can all relate to that at work. If you're in a seminar or a speech with your boss or whatever on a conference call, you can only pay attention for so long. So hopefully this wasn't information overload. Again, the cool thing is, obviously in my other videos, I don't usually keep the blunders in there because you're not trying to watch blunders, but that's a lot of the trial and error process where I go into the best formations and I look for consistency in plays, default plays that you don't have to make a lot of hot routes into, but it allows this to be very efficiently ran. So again, you want formations that allow you to pass or to run out of. And again, if you're new and you're not in the Discord, go join. We got a great community growing in there. I just started it last week. We have weekly calls in there where you guys can talk in the chat. Again, run concepts and schemes by each other, what works for you, how to stop things. I'm going to try to answer to every single person that I can. But if not, we have a good community of guys that, are also trying to figure out the same thing. People can lab together. I post all my streams in there, so that way guys can tune in. They can see what I'm running, everything that I'm preaching to you guys in the videos and these streams. I'll run it in game as well. So if you're not in the Discord, like I said, love to have you guys over there. Again, I'm gonna I say it in my videos, and a lot of people think it's just like clickbait type stuff, but we are the fastest growing channel in NCAA 26. I started at NCAA 25, but we're not even 7 months in yet, and we have over 800 subs. We got almost 30 members on Patreon. We got YouTube subscribers, and shout out to all those people. Like I said, because anybody that's not in those groups, you are included in that. You guys are helping me make this channel the best channel I can be. So if there's things that you guys see, like I said, leave me feedback. We're always trying to improve the quality of the content for you guys. Yeah, man. So that's going to kind of wrap up our SMU playbook. And then I'm going to have, I believe it's going to be conference championship week is where I'm going to call it for this coming week. Is 2 of my leagues that I'm in. I just won the national championship in one last night. The other 2 literally will go into the conference championships tomorrow, I believe. So I'll be streaming those games. I got two really good opponents I'm going to be going against. So they, again, should be some really high quality play content in there in scheming. So hope to see you guys there. Appreciate y'all stopping by. Once the stream goes off, it will be saved. So if you guys want to go back and review any of this, skip through it, go ahead. Again, leave comments, leave feedback. I'll get it. Check out the Discord. I'll catch you guys later.